All right, yoo-hoos. Today, we're doing a tomahawk ribeye steak, caveman style. And for those of you that don't know what caveman style is, that's cooking your meat right on the coals. Get ready, stick around.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and hit the bell notification for future videos on how to get you cooking like a professional. Also, don't forget to check out my Facebook and Instagram page, The Semperfi Chef, to see the latest posts on what's cooking. And now, back to the video.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Semperfi Chef, where I help you cook like a professional. My name is Jason. Thank you very much for joining me. So in today's episode, we're going to be doing the colossal tomahawk steak. And so what a tomahawk steak is basically part of the whole rib roast, but usually it's basically a ribeye with the bone left in, and it's probably, this thing right here is almost about 3 pounds. So you want to treat this thing very carefully, especially with the method that we're going to be doing right now, which is the caveman method, where you cook your steak or protein directly on to the coals. And so the thing too is that people would be kind of cautious of, wouldn't there be a bunch of ash that floats up on it or forms on it? Not at all. I'll show you how to properly do that. To lay your protein right on the coals so you get barely any ash whatsoever on your steak. So here's a nicer close-up of this monstrous steak. Look at the size of that thing. Is huge. It's almost 3 inches thick. It's got some pretty good marbling. This is black Angus steak, and the thing too is that you want to make sure that you have good quality beef when you're doing cooking techniques like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to treat it very simple. We're going to use a salt and pepper mix, some olive oil, and that's it to season this. So we're going to pat it dry. Put a little olive oil on it. Season with salt and pepper. I like to use nice large flake kosher salt so it really sticks to the meat. And then the fat will pull right up and start caramelizing and crusting as soon as it hits the fire. All right, so now we're going to place our steak right on top of the coals, but right before we do this, you got to keep in mind that you want to use lumpwood charcoal and not briquettes. Briquettes are made with compressed fillers, and it's going to spread apart and get all over your meat. Doing lumpwood charcoal, it holds together when placing your food right on top of the grill. So blow off any remaining ash. Okay, now we place our steak right directly on top of the coals. Just like that. Then you want to let it set for about 2 minutes on one side, 2 minutes on the other. And if it flares up a little bit, that's perfectly fine. You'll get that nice caramelized crust on the outside.
Okay, once you're done searing, I'll place it on the cool side so we can finish it off with indirect cooking.
Okay, so since this is a little bit more of an expensive cut of meat, some people don't like using thermometers, but for this cut, we're definitely using a probe thermometer. So this is good for getting a super accurate readout when we close the lid and finish this all the way through. So this is probably right now at a blue on the inside, so it means it's very rare. So we're gonna stick it in the steak, close the lid, and then we're gonna reach an internal temperature of 125 because that's actually more on the rare side, but the carryover cooking is going to keep going about 5 degrees up, so it'll reach that perfect medium rare temperature. So we're gonna probe our meat. Close the lid. Okay, so our thermometer reads at around 125, so we're gonna pull it off right now, and then we're gonna let it rest. Look at this thing, huge. Now, let's put it on a plate. Lightly wrap it in some tin foil and let it rest. Okay, now while our steak is resting, we're gonna do some roasted vegetables on the charcoal. So we're gonna do some mushrooms, pearl onions, some garlic, and then we're gonna put a cast iron pan and make some rosemary butter sauce to go with our steak to accompany with. Okay, so simply take your vegetables and place it right on the coals. And before, it's always a good idea to have some good, somewhat heat-resistant gloves. These are leather, and I like these a lot. Just also be sure you're not touching your food, so just place them directly on top of the coals, just like that.
Okay, for this sauce, add a few tablespoons of butter.
And let's add some fresh rosemary. And you can add in your vegetables. Wow, this smells fantastic. Let's let it all cook so all the essential flavors can mix together. Smells fantastic. Okay, so now we're going to unwrap because it's been resting for quite a while. Oh man, that looks amazing. Got that nice, perfect, delicious crust right on there.
Okay, so now we're going to cut the rib off and we're going to start plating our steak. Then after the rib bone is cut off, we're going to cut vertically into nice little slices. Then overlap. And we're going to take our vegetables and place them right up on our steak. And then finally drizzle some of that rosemary butter right on top.
All right, that's how you do the tomahawk steak over caveman style fire method. Now remember, once again, just to reiterate, don't use briquettes. You want to use lumpwood charcoal. Very simple technique. Also invest in a nice little probe thermometer as well too, to make sure that you get that perfect doneness as well, because you don't want to be messing up a expensive piece of meat. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification for future videos on how to get you cooking like a professional, and thank you very much for joining me. Wow. Pretty simple stuff. Just remember the fundamental. Dog. What the fuck? All right, so now we're going to place our steak right on top of the coal.